Hello, my name is Michelle and welcome to my channel, Michelle's Melancholia. Let's talk about the book clubs and reading challenges I'm planning to take part in during this year. Just in case you're looking for more people to discuss books with, or you just want some fun ideas to fill out your monthly TBRs. This is in no way meant to be an exhaustive list of all the clubs and challenges happening on Booktube or even Horror Booktube, because that would be a huge task. And for that, we have the Booktube bulletin board. So if you want to keep up to date with reading events and all those sorts of things, make sure to subscribe to them. But I will only talk about clubs and challenges that I'm personally going to be participating or trying to participate in this year. So I have a problem. I am addicted to book clubs. I can't stop joining book clubs. I have 12 book clubs that I'm going to be talking about, and I don't even read 12 books a month. So obviously I'm going to be picking and choosing which book clubs to participate in each month, and I'll just be dropping in and out of all of them depending on the book that's going to be read that month. Otherwise, it would be impossible for me. But I really enjoy all of these, so even if I can only join for a few months for each one, I'll be happy with that. So let's start with book clubs I've already participated in the past and that I know that I love. First, I have two that run on Instagram. The first one is the Classic Horror Crew, which is run by Paul from the account Pizza Planeteer. And as its name suggests, we read horror classics. The club has been going on for more than a year. So now sometimes we also read some more modern classics. Paul already has set the schedule for the whole year. In January, the book pick is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. And the book for February is The Bad Seed by William March. I don't have the list at hand right now, but I think other book picks include Christine, maybe Books of Blood, I Am Legend, but maybe I'm just making this up, so I'll just add the list if I find it. The next one is In the Void Book Club, and this is run by Sarah at the account Voided Logs, who is such a cool bookstagrammer. And In the Void Book Club has its own Instagram account, but it also runs on the BookClubs app. And last year I participated when they read Daphne, and then we had a Skype meeting with Josh Mallerman, which was an incredible experience. And I'm pretty sure Sarah has really great plans for the club this year as well. I don't think she has announced which book is up next, but I would encourage you to keep an eye out for that, because whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be really, really good. Moving on to Booktube book clubs, which are some of my favorites, of course. The first one is the From Hell Book Club, which is run by Kelly from Kelly Hooked Books. And in this club, we read vintage horror in the style of the Paperbacks From Hell books. So for example, in January, we will be reading Audrey Rose by Frank De Felitta and Pin by Andrew Niederman. And I don't think she has announced the February book yet. The next club is also run by Kelly, and it is a brand new book club called Eerie Indies, which is, of course, about reading indie horror books. In January, we will be reading White Ibis by Wendy Dalrymple, and in February, the book is Permanent Damage by Ivy Tholen. So yeah, technically I haven't participated in this book club yet because it's brand new, but I already know that Kelly organizes a killer book club. And the next club is, of course, the Midnight Book Society, which is run by Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, and it is all about nostalgic reads, but sometimes also more modern reads. For example, in January, we will be reading Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. And in February, the book that has been picked is Swan Song by Robert McCammon. Both Kelly and Kelsey have Discord channels where you can get together with other people to chat about all these books, and it's a lot of fun. Other Booktube book clubs I've enjoyed in the past are Criminalist Birth Year Book Club. The books get chosen over on the Discord, and the discussion also takes place there, although I think Ollie may now start announcing the book pick on his channel as well. And I think in January and February they are continuing with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. But books get picked from all different genres. And some of the books chosen in the past include Hell House, Go Ask Alice, The Last Picture Show, and Blood Meridian. And MJ from Reading This Live also runs monthly read-alongs on her Discord channel. She also picks books from all different genres. No books have been announced for this year yet, but some of the books that have been chosen in the past are A Christmas Carol, Dracula, Lost Horizon, My Best Friend's Exorcism, and The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue, so also something for everyone over there. Both Ollie and MJ have really amazing and friendly communities on their Discords, so if you're a multi-genre reader, I highly recommend those communities for you. Okay, now let's move on to something really exciting, book clubs I'll be trying out for the first time this year. And the first one is the YA book club organized by Amy McCall, who is the author of Mina and the Undead. She has a channel that I will link. And of course, her club will be focusing on reading books targeted to a young adult audience. And I think the books won't only be horror, I think she will also include other genres. But her pick for the month of January is Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. And there will be a live discussion with Kelsey and Katrina Brown, I think, on Amy's channel at the end of the month. Another book club I want to try out is Amy's Dark Hearts book club at the channel Amy Noel Reads. This is not a new book club, and actually Amy's picks always sound amazing, but for some reason I just haven't had time to read them. So this year I really want to try and participate. She has 2 books picked out for January, These Violent Delights by Micah Namoraver, which sounds so good, but literally there is no more space in my January TBR. And the other pick is Isolation, a horror anthology. And her pick for February is episode 13 by Craig DeLuey, and I am determined to join for that one. She also has live discussions at the end of the month with a guest, so it's all just really well organized. An Instagram book club I want to try is the True Crime Book Club. This is run by Ashley at Spookish Mommy, and the club also uses this Book Clubs app. In January, they are reading Under the Banner of Heaven, A Story of Violent Faith by John Krakauer. And in February, we'll be reading We Keep the Dead Close, A Murder at Harvard, and A Half Century of Silence by Becky Cooper. And I wanted to join because I want to get back a little bit more into true crime, but I just wanted help picking books that are actually like good investigative work and not just like morbid, re-victimizing, exploitative, horrible stuff. So I'm going to give this one a try. Another one is the Horror Spotlight Club. They have an Instagram account, and this one sounds really cool because they describe themselves as aiming to lift up marginalized horror writers. I won't be joining in January, but the book pick is Moon of the Crusted Snow by Waukeshick Rice, and the one for February, which I'm hoping to read, is All the White Spaces by Ali Wilkes. And finally, because I got Mastodon recently and I've had a great time engaging with the book community in there, I wanted to join a club on that platform, and I chose to join a non-fiction book club. It uses the hashtag White Horse Book Group. And I will also post the handle of the main organizer in the description box. But this one's a bit odd because it runs from the 15th of one month to the 15th of another month. So from 15th of December to 15th of January, we've been reading a Primate's memoir by Robert Sapolsky. Well, I haven't started it, but I will be reading it as soon as I get back home. And up to the 15th of February, we will be reading Invisible Women, Exposing Data Bias in a World Designed for Men by Caroline Criado Perez. So I'm really looking forward to this one because I think I'll be more motivated to read non-fiction if I have someone to talk about it with. And that is all for book clubs. I know it's a lot, wish me luck, but at least I hope you found that list useful if you want to join any of these. Let's just move on to reading challenges. And I only participate in 2-year-long reading challenges, and both consist of 12 prompts. So you could choose one book for each month, but I don't really do it like that. I think what I'll do is just read the books I want to read and just see how many of the prompts I've completed, and maybe later in the year, around like August or September, I'll look at the prompts I haven't completed and then try to dedicate 1 or 2 months to just ticking off as many of them as possible. I think that's a good strategy. The first one is the Books in the Freezer Reading Challenge. And I'll post the graphic here, but it includes prompts such as a 2023 horror release, a single author collection, a translated horror novel, and an indie or small press horror. So a good variety of prompts here. And by the way, in case you don't know, Books in the Freezer is one of the best horror book podcasts out there. Stephanie does an incredible job of giving themed horror book recommendations with incredible guests. She's had authors, other podcasters, even like book talkers. She's on it and she has really great taste. And the other year-long readathon I participate in is the Buzzword Reading Challenge, which is organized by Kayla from the channel Books and Lala, which is unquestionably one of the best booktube channels out there. And in this challenge, you are given a word each month and you have to find a book with that word in the title. So for example, we have categories like verbs, but also emotions or flavors, or some months you get like one specific word, such as secret or other. So it's really fun. And actually my friend Mindy from Mindy's Book Journey, she built her whole Buzzword Readathon TBR with books that were already on her shelves. So that was a really fun video to watch. I will link it below and you can get some ideas for this challenge as well. And finally, there is just one more challenge I'm doing this year, and for this one I will be reading one book each month, and that is the 12 books recommended by 12 friends challenge, in which of course I had 12 of you recommend me one book in any genre and I will be reading them, but I will have my TBR for that in a separate video because I just want to talk about each of the books. And that is all for today. Do you think I'm being too ambitious? Or do you think I'm just going to have a lot of fun? Let me know if you will be participating in any book clubs or reading challenges this year. And I will see you in my next video with my 12 books from 12 Friends TBR. But until then, goodbye.